歡迎各位觀眾收睇周一長談，我係你哋呢一集嘅節目主持人梁英年。新年已經係嚟咗啦，咁啊喺呢個龍年嗰度咧，我係利用呢個機會咧，係祝大家係龍年萬事勝意、身體健康、出入平安。咁而今集咧，我請嚟嘅嘉賓咧就係現時喺聯邦政府政壇上邊咧呢個官式嘅反對黨喺國會裏邊嘅加拿大保守黨嘅黨領博勵治 Pierre Poilievre. So thank you very much for coming to the program, Mr. Poilievre.
Great to be with you, Mr.
I
Lee.
just told our audience it's the new year, the year of the dragon. So we will
新年快樂.
Wow.
新年好.
Very good.
恭喜發財.
Now in the
Thank
new
you.
year, so we still have, in theory, we still have one more year before the next election.
Yes.
And the parliament is in session. What is the biggest issue for you and for Canadians in this session?
Justin Trudeau is not worth the cost or the crime. After 8 years of Trudeau and the NDP, everything costs more. Work doesn't pay. You make it, he takes it. Housing costs have doubled.
Housing costs and the rental costs.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, in Vancouver, for example, housing is the most expensive in Canada, but also the third most expensive in the entire world. Unbelievable. After 8 years of Trudeau. When I was housing minister just 8 years ago, the average rent for a 2-bedroom was $1,390. Now it's over $3,000. So the rent has more than doubled, almost tripled after 8 years of Trudeau. And then we have the crime. His catch and release policies, his legalization of crack, heroin, cocaine, illicit fentanyl has caused total chaos in the streets. People are afraid. People tell me they want to leave Canada to avoid the danger that Trudeau has unleashed in their neighborhoods. So he is not worth the crime. He is not worth the cost. But the good news is life wasn't like this before Justin Trudeau, and it won't be like this after he's gone. A common sense conservative government will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
Now, when you say the housing price is double, the rental is more than double, how can we solve this problem? Is it a demand and supply issue? Because we need housing, we don't have enough housing. And the income of people is not catching up with the increase in rent or a house price. How can we solve it?
We have to reverse the policies that Trudeau did that doubled it in the first place. So he printed $600 billion of cash. That bid up the cost of everything, and now inflation is driving up interest rates on mortgages, forcing more people to rent, which drives up rent. So let's cap the spending, cut the waste, balance the budget to bring down interest rates. So in other words, fix the budget. 2, we have to build more homes. How do we do that? Well, right now we have so much bureaucracy that blocks home building. So, for example, you have to get permits just to renovate your bathroom in Vancouver. The permitting and the bureaucracy and taxes of Vancouver City Hall adds $1.3 million to the cost of every newly built home. And so what is that doing? It's driving up costs for everyone trying to buy a home. My common sense plan will require cities quickly permit more homes on more land. How? I'll require cities permit 15% more homes per year as a condition of federal money. If they beat the target, they'll get a bonus. They miss the target, they'll get a fine. I'll require every federally funded transit station be pre-approved for high-density skyrise apartments like they did in Hong Kong. Why does Hong Kong have the only profitable transit system in the world?
Because they developed the transit station to build high rises.
Exactly. So they sell the air rights all around, and then the people can live on top of the station. And then they can get on the elevator, go to the bottom, jump on the train.
Right, that reduce the carbon footprint.
Exactly.
And we may not have
Common
to use the
sense.
carbon tax.
Exactly. Then we're going to get rid of the carbon tax as well. So that way we're going to require the cities clear the bureaucracy to build the homes. When you have more homes, you'll have more affordable rent and mortgage payments.
Now, we build more homes, but just like the Trudeau, they are letting in more people. Just talk about the number of temporary and permanent immigrants that drive up the price of everything. So how are you going to deal with this immigration issue?
Well, we used to have 100% consensus in Canada, pro-immigration.
Yes.
We all love immigration in Canada. My wife is an immigrant. We love immigrants. Trudeau screwed up the system. We can't blame the immigrants. They're just following the rules that he put in place. We have to blame the guy who screwed it up, and his name is Justin Trudeau. So let's blame him. He's the guy that screwed up the international student program, allowing fraudsters to create fake universities and colleges that bring over students on fake study visas. Then he allowed for crooked businesses to get LMIAs to hire temporary foreign workers, and then they sell those LMIAs to other businesses at a profit, causing chaos in our labor market and flooding our housing market with too many people. We built fewer homes last year than we did in 1972, even though we have twice the population. So what my common sense plan would be to clean up the international student and the temporary foreign worker program to get rid of the fraud. Students who come here must have money, home, and a real educational institution before they're going to get a visa under my government. 2, we're going to set immigration numbers so that they match home building numbers. Link the number of people who come to the number of homes that get built. That way, our housing supply can catch up with the population.
Hey, that's common sense.
Common sense.
You match the number of people coming in with the number of home built. You match the skill of the people coming in to match what we need in Canada for economic development. So Trudeau screw up the housing, mess up the immigration. Now let's talk about crime. People said they can't stay in Canada anymore if the crime rates going up and getting more dangerous to go out.
That's right. Trudeau's catch and release has caused mayhem. There has been a 386% increase in extortions in BC under 8 years of Trudeau and the NDP. That's because of catch and release policies that allow the same violent extortionists to get released. He passed a law that allows you to avoid jail time even if you do extortion with a gun. You go and point a gun in someone's face and extort money out of them. You can get off without jail time under Justin Trudeau's catch and release system. And you get bail within a few minutes of arrest. So my common sense plan brings jail, not bail, for repeat violent offenders. Gets rid of house arrest for car thieves. It will bring extra penalties for those who commit crimes as part of organized criminal networks and gangs. And I'm also going to secure our ports with 24 new high-powered scanning machines that can scan 1 million containers each, so that we know what's coming in and what's going out. Common sense, let's bring it home.
Oh, it sounds easy, but why does it take so long for our government to deal with this issue? For example, you just mentioned drug is a big issue regarding crime. But what the government is trying to do is to give free drugs. They want to take away the business of the gangsters. So if the government gives free drugs, then we don't need the gangsters to distribute their drugs.
The government is the gangster. He's the new
is
drug
that the way
dealer.
to do it? To stop the problem?
Yeah, and then they're the profiteers of the pharma companies. It's unbelievable. Look, this is what he's done. We've seen a 300% increase in drug overdose deaths because of the amount.
Everyone heard about that from our health officers.
And the health officers, frankly, they're either incompetent or corrupt themselves because they keep, and they're all making money off of this. Because otherwise, why would they be prescribing more and more drugs when we see that it's killing people? They're now admitting that these drugs are being diverted. Remember we said they're being diverted, then the public health experts said, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, stop it.
Yeah, last time when you came, we talked about that. They said it's conspiracy.
It's
There's
conspiracy
no such thing.
theory. Well, now they say, oh, okay, it is happening, but it's worth the damage it's doing. It's causing some damage, but it's also saving so many lives.
That's from our health officer, not from you.
If that's the case, then why is it that last year was the record year for overdose deaths in BC with all of these opioids they've been giving out? And now we find out that children who are addicted to drugs are being prescribed fentanyl in the British Columbia healthcare system. Fentanyl is 100 times more powerful than heroin. It can stop your heart like that.
They don't have to be 18 years of age to get that from the government.
They can get a prescription from a doctor now, even if they don't need it for pain relief, but for narcotics.
And under age 15, 16,
yes.
14?
The government is giving out fentanyl to our children. They're killing our kids with our tax dollars. And so this is the Trudeau NDP policy. They've decriminalized heroin, crack, cocaine, which has caused an explosion of new crime.
Now,
I'm just going to sum it up. I will ban the drugs.
Okay. Now
I will stop giving out taxpayer-funded drugs.
Existential problem in Richmond.
Yes.
The city, they're trying to open an injection site next to the hospital. They said they will save life by doing that, and they are going to open more injection sites. How can we stop that?
I'm going to look at the criminal code to find ways to block these drug sites in places that they don't belong. For example, they had one in Toronto, and what happened? They call it a safe injection site.
Yep.
One of the drug addicts pulled out a gun, shot a bullet. It flew out of the safe injection site area and hit a middle-aged mother who lost her life. So that doesn't sound very safe to me. So I'm against the safe injection site in Richmond, and only the Conservatives are against it.
Okay, all audience, you heard that from the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. He's on your side. He's going to help you to stop that from happening. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, my friend.
We will continue to talk about that next time you come to town.
Great to be with you. Axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, stop the crime.
Common sense.
Bring it
Thank
home.
you.